When I look at you, I feel your pain. Don't know your name, never seen you before.
That's right, y'all. That's right. Swag City Radio live right here in the mix. It's going down today. Yo, man, sometimes sometimes I reach out to people and I come across people who influence the things, our daily lives, whether it be entertainment or spiritually or, some ways. But sometimes I have to send special shout outs to people like Miss Kimi Rochele of KRpmedia. What's going on, girl?
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for contacting me. I'm so honored.
No, I am honored at you because, like I told you on the phone, I'm a big supporter of black business. Black business is important to me because, hey, it's not something that, is appreciated the way it should be. You know what I mean? Because we have a problem with supporting our own. So if I have an opportunity, which is this outlet that I have that I've been so blessed to have for this time being, to give people like yourself the voiceless a voice. It's not to say you don't have a voice, but a lot of people don't appreciate maybe what you do or how you do it for the community or how hard you go in the paint.
Thank you so much.
So tell us a little bit about you, Miss Rochele. Tell us tell us a little bit about you, how KRpmedia is affecting what's going on with you guys.
Well, KRpmedia is my full-service public relations firm. It's actually Kimi Rochele PR and entertainment firm, but I shortened it for KRpmedia. And we started a while ago, many years ago, and I just kind of added and tweaked and reinvented and continually added different services because as a small business person, many business people, because I'm also a business strategist, they don't have the funds to have the team to do everything that they need to do within their business. So they have to wear a lot of different hats. And through the years, I've had to do so many different things in different areas of my business and all my enterprises, so that now I kind of have a touch of every area and kind of see everything, and just involved and evolved to where we are now, where now we do talent relations, red carpet relations, we do promotions, internet advertisement, we do web blog creation and SEO, and so we do a lot of different things that we see that the individual may need assistance with to get them to whatever the next level is.
Right.
And that's kind of just, where my firm is right now. So we're excited about it. We're about to go into other areas where we are booking more talents, because we do get requests. A lot of, I'm very, when you contacted me, I went and looked at your radio station. I was like really happy to see that you have a forum and a platform excuse me, for the indie artists, because they don't have a platform.
Right. And
I get contacted all the time because we do a lot of concerts and a lot of the major festivals, and they want an opportunity and they don't get those opportunities. So I want to shout you out just because that's just a wonderful thing that you're doing, and featuring individuals and giving them a voice. Because if you weren't there, then that's just one less form for people to be heard. And people just want to do what they love to do and be heard. And so, you're doing a great job yourself.
Well, thank you very much. When it comes to now, I'm guilty as anybody else. For a while we've been around for I'd say about 3 or 4 years, but for a while we kind of focused on what's going on, the stuff you hear on a million other radio stations. But, I would run into the artists the same way, and they would say the same thing you're saying exactly, like, hey, man, how can I get my song on the radio? And, I don't have a problem with playing 1 or 2 tracks, for them and just so they can let their fan base hear it at that moment. But as, I was in deep thought, I said, you know what? Artists do not have a true platform. And I'm not talking about like some janky thing where it's just like all about your money. but I'm talking about a true platform, and that's why we here at Swag City Radio decided to change to that platform, to give them an opportunity.
Awesome.
And that's what we are. That's what we're about. But I was looking at. I see you were. I think I've met Mr. Chuck Singleton before. So I remember seeing that
Pastor
Chuck
Singleton?
I think I might have met him one time at Roscoe's in L.A. I'm not sure yet. I might.
That would have been a long time ago.
Yeah, I probably was like maybe. I'm 34, so I was like 20 something, early 20. I probably about at least 7-8 years ago. I might have met him in L.A. We did a hair show. I was in a hair show, and shout out to Mr. Troy Ballard out there. I did a hair show out there, and I think I might have met him out there around that time. Because I remember meeting somebody by that name. I'm not sure exactly where, but So I seen also too. Now I seen in your bio that you said you were on Amen. It's a different world. Now
I used to do extra work, and my original plan was I wanted to. When I was growing up, BET was big,
right?
And I wanted to produce shows on BET and be an anchor person. So I went to school and just. I went to school because people said that's what you needed to do, but I've later found out you don't necessarily have to. It's really who you know. And then I did my internship at BET. But in that transition, what you have to do when you're trying to get in the entertainment business, a lot of people do extra work, so they try to get on any type of project, the grip, the sound, wherever they're feeding the people, whatever, because once you're in the environment, then you're meeting other people, and they're telling you about other projects that you can get on. And so that was a lot of ways that we were able to go and be on the sets and meet the producers and meet the cast, and then you had different booking agents, and so we just had a whole bunch of them. So we would stand in line to get to the next one, to get booked on the next one, and really all that was to get us and keep us into the environment and put a little bit of money into your pocket, because that's the harder part. The harder part is how do you make a living doing what you want to do? How do you, as a radio producer, keep your show on and pay your rent, not just on your show, but just in your home, because you want to help individuals, but you also have to have some type of an income for that. And so that was what I was doing at that time, doing extra work. And so we did a lot of sitcoms because they were really hot back into the day.
Where are the sitcoms nowadays? Where are they? There's no more sitcoms anymore.
Not like those. I mean, they were just back to back to back to back, because reality TV is taking over now.
It's just sad, isn't it? It's just sad. People rather see people slap each other, throw water in their face and all that, than actually see something that support real actors and actresses.
Right. They're coming back. There's a lot of good writers and different programs that are coming out to meet it. But I never thought I would see the day that I watched any other channel other than like Channel 2 or Channel 4 or Channel 7. I never thought I'd be watching a VH1 or a Bravo. I mean, back in the day, it was like, why would I even turn to those channels? And now, Friday is Monday night. It's the night that people are watching, those number one hit shows, So it's just a change in the climate and a change in the environment. And that's what we have to do as business people, entrepreneurs, PR firms, talent. You have to change. And as it changes, you have to watch who you are to see, do you want to go that way or do I not want to go that way? I mean, I'm an entertainment publicist also, so I could write a lot of the stuff that I see that's not great, but I don't. But that's a choice. Now, if I want huge ratings and hits, because, when you're on the internet, it's about the hit. You want people to get to your site.
Right.
And so you do that by having controversial issues and sensational stories and, that type of stuff? Or do you keep it when you're talking real stuff about some real situations? You know what I'm saying? So it's always a battle.
Right.
It's always a battle.
Now, I have a question. Now, were you just like in the background when you did Amen? Because I had a chance personally to meet Mr. Sherman Hensley and Clifton Davis, which Sherman played Deacon Ernest Fry. and then Clifton, I believe he played Reuben, the Reverend Reuben.
Right.
And
on
you know,
Amen, remember when they got married?
oh, you talking about
Clifton
Anna?
Davis
You
got
talking about
married
Anna?
on Amen?
What was her name? Anna Horsford or something like that, right? But I don't know her.
Right. I was the bridesmaid.
What's? Oh my God! You know who I wanted to meet out of all those people? Like, I wanted to meet the old guy, the one Jest or something. The one who played Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to meet him. I just love old people. For some reason, I just love old people. You know, I just like hearing their stories, and you know,
right.
There's just something about that generation, that era, that just inspires me to try to live as long as I can, so I can pass some knowledge on to young people, hopefully.
Right.
So I seen that. Now I
I
seen that you have also too. I see that you have. You're an advocate of trying to help homeowners and help, not just besides what else you do, but you're also too like on a radio show, and you try to help homeowners get debt free. What's going on with that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I did back in the way back. I actually worked for a finance company, homeowners company, and so we did a radio show. And at the time, that's when first-time home buyers were together. It was really hot right there, right before the market ballooned up, and they came up with all these different programs that now got people into trouble. It was right at the beginning of that. And, one of the things that I do when I put on any type of event, I'm like a proactive, like right now. So what we would do is with the radio show, we would inform individuals, and then I have like a empowerment forum so that an individual would come to the event, they'll run their credit. If their credit was great, they would get approved right then. Then I had realtors over there that can show them their house, their homes, and I had other individuals over here that would talk to you about savings, your money, and 401ks. And if your credit wasn't great, then I had another room over here for people to help you clean your credit up or what you need to do to get on track. And so, I just use that forum with everything that I do, because it all comes back to events and promotions. And so I just use, it doesn't matter if it's finance and homes or concerts or authors or what have you. It's the same type of principle to create something that's going to create a buzz, that's going to help the individuals and on both ends. So people came down, they purchased homes, and the people came down. So the people that they purchased the homes from won. The people that got the homes won. The people that didn't, they were on a path of what they could do. But since then, the market dropped so drastically, and people were doing a lot of stuff, crazy stuff. So I just kind of stepped back out of that market and once again had to reinvent, because when that dropped, everything dropped, because that really was the financial stability of my businesses that came in. It was another, I have a lot of revenue streams, because you need to have several revenue streams. And that was one of my major ones. Right. And when that stopped, it had a dominoes effect.
It's always a domino effect, right?
Yeah. So when that funds came, that helped. I had a magazine, I had the PR firm, and then I had all these different things. So I had to go back and reinvent, and then keep reinventing and look at what do I have and what do I need to do to make some money and to do. And that's really what it was. I just remember getting up and I got to do something, because my internet advertising, I used to do it for free. I used to just do that to help people in businesses and just to get their information out. And I never charged. And I just remember one day I said, what do I need to do? I got to do something. I have no income. I have nothing. And I remember talking to my daughter and said, people are charging for the blast. Let's send it out. And I was so nervous. And we did. And as soon as I sent it out, I had my first client. And I remember it's one of the producers over in L.A., still one of my clients to this day. And That's really how that kind of grew the PR firm, out of necessity, out of survival.
Right.
So my learning from that is God gives you everything you need that's around you. whether you need to go back to school or whether you need to just go get a job. He gives you what you need to do so that you can go on and do what you need to do and get on track and stay focused. And really, that's how that's grown. Everything I do is out of necessity. We have to keep growing. We have to stay in front. We have to stay what's new. We have to stay on top of the new trends, and that's necessity.
Right. I do have to give you a shout out because, I looked at your picture and I was like, oh my God, this woman is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, she cannot be a grandmother.
Yes, I'm a grandmother of 4, actually. My kids are all grown. My son is in his 30s. My daughter's in her mid-20s, and my youngest is just turning 20.
I kept saying to myself, I was like, ooh, if I was 10 years older. Oh, help me,
well,
Lord.
Thank you.
Oh, Lord, 10 years older. That's all I need. She'll believe me then. So I want to know, now, me and that, I'm sure you still kind of keep your hands, your fingertips, maybe in the housing market, at least keeping your eyes open for it. Have you noticed it's going to do that crash thing again? I've noticed it because the house prices.
Again?
Oh yeah, the house. Have you noticed the prices are going back up so high? Where it's like, do they really think people got jobs like that fast?
Well, the market is changing because there's still a lot of houses that was out on the market that just dropped, and then now it's kind of changing back, and there's a little wind blowing where people are moving. They don't have the same programs like they did before, but I think the bottom line to it is if you are consistent in your job, you're consistent in your income, and you're consistent in keeping up with your bills, because credit is vital to everything, your business, your personal life. Credit is your lifeline.
Right.
Then it really doesn't matter what the market does. You just have to be aware of the programs. And see, that's what a lot of people weren't. They were signing anything just to get into homes and didn't understand what the balloon payment was and what would happen when those mortgages readjusted up. And so now, yeah, they can get in right now for $1,500 because there's no interest that was on it for the first couple of years. And then it just hit, and now it bumped up to $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000. And they didn't understand that. A lot of people did. Some people did, but most people didn't understand that. So I think in any market, if you're in the business for the home business, and you want to purchase a home, then the consistency is with yourself and your credit and your income. And that income is a real income that you have to be able to be honest about, because that's what's going to tell you the type of amount of house you can purchase.
Right.
And so then you start there. So, yeah, we want a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 gorgeous house that's out here, but your income is only going to get you like $3,000. There's some nice $300,000 homes that's out here. Bottom line is just get into a home and then keep that going. And then you can later on, after so many years, you can rent it, you get another house. Yeah, you can sell it or keep it. I would keep it and then try to just go into another one, because now you're building assets.
Because I think like this. I think homes are based on, what is it? I think 500 square feet per person. So they were saying, like, if you're a family of 3, you need about 1,500 square feet. If you're a family of 4, 2,000 square feet. Family of 5, 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. Somewhere around there. Because it's the space. You ever been in a small apartment and sharing a bed with somebody? It's a tragedy. So I have a couple of questions. I want to know, like, now, I don't know, are you into politics? Do you pay attention to the news? Anything like that going on?
Yeah. Am I going to watch the news? Yes.
Yeah. So I want to know what's your take on the whole Donald Sterling situation?
Which part? He just went to church and tried to do an apology. I think.
Well, we're not talking about the
things.
church part. We're talking about the.
We're talking about the actual other
the
part,
actual.
right?
You know, we're talking about the actual.
Right. No, well, I'm saying that because now I don't know. You know, we can say it's a gimmick. We can say that he went back and is he really sorry for what he said and those types of things. And you know, that's a controversial situation all in itself. But I think a couple of things. I think many of us, when we're at home in the closure, behind the doors, first of all, there's two types of people. We're two types of people. We're the people who we are when the society sees us.
Right.
So when we're on our job, we have to have a smile, and even though we don't want to, we have to be polite to our boss. We have to act a certain way. When really we want to say, kiss my whatever, or go to hell, or
right.
I'm out, but we can't do that.
Right.
So that's one type of person. And the person that you're at home says, you know what my damn boss says, blah, 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 da, 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 da.
Right.
Okay, so we all have that. Now, what his situation was that's who he was, thinking he was in the form of someone he trusted to talk with. Just like if you was my boy, and
right.
we're talking about someone else, and I say, hey, that nigga over there, he blah, 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 I can't stand that, whatever,
right.
and go over to the left. I'm talking to my boy because I can talk freely to you because I trust you.
Right.
So from my understanding is that's what the scenario was. Not that it was right or that it was wrong, is that he was in a situation where he was upset because for whatever reason, he's seen the girl with a picture with Magic Johnson.
Right.
That teed him off, and he went all the way to the left to her. Obviously he's been to the left to her many, many times before because she knew enough. Okay, I'm a record this because
right.
he's done it before. If it was the first time, she wouldn't have even known to record this. I don't think she knew the repercussions of how big it was going to be. I think she just thought it was going to get some stories. It was going to, I don't think she thought he was going to lose, they're booting him out of his own franchise, of his own team.
Right.
I don't think she knew, I don't think she was smart enough to even think that far. I think she was just doing something and trying to get some money from TMZ because she got some money for that.
But see,
to hurt him.
But see, here's my thing, and I tell people that first off, there is no more freedom of speech. Freedom of speech does not exist anymore in this day and age. The Constitution is not for us anymore. It was never for black people in general, but it's not for us now as a collective because now it affected the white person. So really, they about to try to find all kind of new ways to make it work for them again because now it's exposed. Now, see, here's the main thing that people have to realize that the NBA in general, the door they open, because if you're telling me that I can't have, if someone records me and we're having a private conversation that technically isn't admissible in any courtroom because of because unless it's with your wife and she releases it, but if I have a private conversation with someone and they don't tell me it's recorded, and it's technically illegal. A lot of people don't know that one. So when they're suing the NBA, and the NBA, I'm sure will lose that one because you can't just say, but people have to realize this. You cannot, when the NBA did that, all they did was open the door to say, guess what? If you say something wrong, we take everything from you. We're going to make you sell. And I'm like, wow, can you imagine that, Kimmy, that you
Absolutely.
have your business? Like, people are like, that most black people to me are bigots. They get all emotional because somebody say, I don't like black people. You know how many times we as black people say we don't like white people, but we're not held
right.
accountable to that same standard. It's kind of like the word niggh. Well, here, at the end of the day, it depends on how it's said. As long as it ain't got an ER, it does not bother me. It's kind of like that saying, sticks and stones will break my bones. Well, guess what? Somebody calling me a nigga is not going to hurt me. Whether it don't matter what they say, because here we are putting in music, we're putting in movies, we're putting in everything. And at the same time too, you get mad because someone else says the word. Now, my thing was he didn't like Magic Johnson for whatever reason. He didn't like Magic Johnson. She found out whatever. But the fact is, he had a private conversation with her. Now, I don't feel bad for the young lady because her problem is this. Like you said, she didn't think far ahead because now ain't nobody going to want to deal with you. And they'd be a fool if they do.
Right, and I think the big point that what you said is really now freedom of speech is not our freedom of speech, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
Because there has to be a form where I could go and be free to be me. And if it's not in my home, and if it's not on my phone,
right, then where is it?
Not, then where is it? And so that's a major issue.
Because,
right
you know,
there.
racism technically is a public thing, not a private thing. I'm supposed to be allowed to, you know, as long as I'm in public talking about, like you said, you know, it's kind of like, you know, what gets on my nerves, you know, and Stephen A. Smith from Sports Center, he made a specific, eloquent speech based on, he gets tired of brothers talking about keep it real, do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, you wasn't doing all that when you had to conform to get that check. You wasn't keeping it real. He said, you know, how are you telling young people, young kids, keep it real and do all this when you conformed in order to get paid? And you know,
absolutely, and you're not keeping it real by saying, because you say I'm keeping it real doesn't mean you're keeping it real. Because if you were keeping it real, then you would say a whole lot of other things that you would be saying, but you know you can't. So there's a certain point
right
up to what you can say and what you can disclose.
Right.
Period. You know, especially in media, there's some things that will sway to the other side because of political situations. So, you know, what was astonishing was the fact that you heard that from him, somebody that was in that level of power.
Right.
But then it just makes you realize he's not the only one that says that, because there's a whole bunch of him. You just the first one that we have heard.
Right, but that's the thing. People have to realize that, you know, it's kind of like NFL. There are no black owners in the NFL. Owners. There's two owners in the NBA, which is Michael Jordan and I believe Bob Johnson is the other owner. Bob Johnson owns one team and Michael Jordan owns another team, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but there's only two black NBA owners. But that just lets you know, look, we have a shortage of black coaches in the NBA. In the NFL, it's even worse. You know, yeah, maybe 3 black coaches or 4, if that, out of 30 teams or 32 teams or 30 teams, there's only 2 or 3 black coaches, if that. That lets you know we are less than 1%. You know,
right. Well, you know, the other part of that is we don't know that the people that are trying to get him out, that are in the powers to be, if they feel that way and they're doing that because they have to. Because if they didn't, then they would be revealed. It would look like you think just like him.
Right.
See, he's just one. Trust me. The way he talks to all them people all the time, and other power people that's just like him. They are aware.
Oh, they're more aware. You know, there has to be a fall guy. You know, it just so happens he's a fall guy. And, you know, right now they're like really like, hey, you cannot come over. Like, they are really on their A's and B's right now because, man, let me tell you, they going to be watching they back real quick. So I want to know a question. Right. I definitely have a question, and not to jump off that subject, but because I want to get more into your field about promotions and stuff like that. What advice would you have for somebody who's like, I want to start a PR firm, or I want to come and do exactly what Miss Rochele is doing, or should I say krpmedia is doing?
What advice do I have for who?
For someone who's upcoming into starting a firm and getting into media.
Oh, somebody starting a PR firm?
Correct.
Okay, well, first, you have to have a passion about what you want to do. If you see somebody doing something and you're just trying to do it just because they doing it, and you think you're going to make it better just to show them, you're already going to fail. Because after the fun and the this and that goes away and the real work comes, if that's not your passion, you're going to bounce back out of it. You won't be consistent in what you're doing. You'll fall down and you'll just be gone. A lot of people start a lot of ventures and then they realize that's not what it is because they're doing it for the wrong reason. So the first thing, it has to be, that's really what you want to do. The second thing is what type of relationships that you have. Now, my upbringing, I really didn't have a lot of relationships that I had built. Everything I did, I learned the hard way. My magazine, I didn't have a mentor. I just jumped in it and I just did the magazine. Same thing with the PR firm. I just jumped in it and I kind of just did it. And so it makes it easier if you have different relationships that you have built or you've been around or you grew up in to do the PR firm. Then it comes down to what your specialty is going to be within the firm, because there's so many different areas within public relations and industries. So you have the sports industry, which has a different processing. You have the entertainment industry, you have education industry, you have the political. So you have different forums that have different processes of how you distribute information, where you distribute information, and so forth, and who your client base is. So then that's the next thing, is you got to figure out, so you get in it and you do it and you say, I want to do this, and you get this client, or you're trying to talk to them, because basically it's just creating somebody's brand, keeping somebody aware of what they're doing, and keeping them in a good light. If they're not in a good light, then cleaning it up and being the cleanup person for them. Whatever the industry is, it's kind of like the same type of situation, except now you're dealing with who you know. If you're in education, then you need to know the supervisors of schools and who the key players are, and so forth and so on. If you're in politics, you need to know who's running for office, who's against your mate, your pros and cons of different laws that are passing. So now you're going deeper in, but you have to be a professor and a scholar of your own specialty, because you have to stay on top of whatever it is. So those are the first things that I would say. First, do it for the right reason, and then two, get into it.
Well, wouldn't the right reasons be to see what you're doing and want to mimic that, or to try to, they might see the success they might see the socialite status, they might see those things.
I say no, but that's what a lot of people do, because it's the socialite. The people that's really doing what they're doing, that's really doing the hard work, they're really behind the scenes. You really don't see a lot of what they're doing.
Right.
For the most part. And because what you see is just a perception of the end result. You see the Z result. You don't see the start, the A, and everything that it took the person to get through the end result of the Z. So if you're getting into something because you're seeing the end result, oh, this person is doing this, oh my God, they're on the red carpet, oh, blah, 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 I want to do that. Okay. So now, what did it take for me to even get to that point? What did it take for me to get that contract? What did it take for me to even find the contact to submit my information to get that? So you go back, and you see the process, and you see years of me working situations. And the average person that's just doing it for that, they'd be out the game. They'd be starving. They'd say, I can't do this. How many people have started stuff, and now they're off to something else? Right. It's because of that. That's their passion. That wasn't their passion. This is what I do. I'm doing what God is saying for me to do in the lane that I'm supposed to be in. Otherwise, I would have been out of it. There's a lot of sacrifice on kids, sacrifice on money, sacrifice on a lot of different areas that I have to look back and see. So the success is when you stop and you look back and you see the people you ran over and the people you backstabbed to get you where you are, and the things you didn't, you look at all the stuff, good and bad, and if you don't feel great about yourself and what you've done and your accomplishments, then you didn't win anyway.
Right. So I want to know, like, before we get out of here, what is it that inspires you to keep going? I mean, like, what keeps you going?
One is because I have the necessity. I have to. I'm a true entrepreneur. True entrepreneur is that I don't have a 9-to-5, so my income is based on me getting up to do something. If I don't get up to do something, I have no income. So that's the first motivation. The second motivation is I really love what I do, and I really love helping my clients, and I really love seeing them I love seeing recommendations come to life, and I love seeing your vision. And then, which is really where I'm gifted at. If you talk, I can see your whole world. Then taking that and moving it to a bigger platform, that is a great, great feeling for me. That's it. So when it's over, when I sit down, I go, oh my God, that was great. But did you see this? Okay, let me get some rest. Okay, we up on it again. And that's really what it is right there. It's just a calling on my life.
Man.
To continue to do what I'm doing. And, like I'm going into the talent. I have an author. Her name is Dr. Malachi. She's a young psychiatrist. And she wrote a book called A Hip-Hop State of Mind. And what she did was she immersed herself into the entertainment world to find out, has hip-hop changed our culture that we live in, and is it still changing? So she wrote this book. Now, that's a great that's a project for me, but the project is bigger because of the social change that it could do, the social change that it can help young people, the social change that it could help us. So it's not always about money in a project. It's about the project. It's about the project itself and her message, and getting that message out that says what she learned about hip-hop and how our culture as African American, buying houses, why we're buying houses, why we're buying cars, the type of cars, what the videos, because videos used to be huge when I was growing up. I mean, it was like, and now you have videos, but they're not the same. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
you gotta find a you gotta find a video. They're not around like they used to be. Right.
So me taking on different projects that people come to me for, because people ask me all the time, but I can't take on everybody's project, and everybody doesn't have a budget. So I have to make miracles happen within various restrained budgets.
You know what's funny? Not to cut you off on that. You know what's funny? I tell, and I tell artists ask me my opinion a lot. They'll say, hey, D, what do you think, I should do for this? I said, honestly, save up 5,000. If you can't save up 5,000, then don't do it. Just because I said whatever vision you have for whatever you're trying to do, it's a big. Whenever you put something out there, you want to make sure. Now, for $5,000, you can have a great event, but you have to spend the money. You have to spend the money, because that putting yourself out there, you have to put yourself in the best light, and lighting is going to cost a good chunk of that. So I said, that's just my opinion to artists out there. I tell you all the time, save up 5,000, then throw your event. Don't just go in there talking about, I'm gonna go on this person hook up, because you're not gonna get their best. You're gonna get them at whatever.
Right.
A lot of time everybody thinks free, like everybody should help you. Like, no, save up $5,000. Save up $5,000 and get you a PR person, get you somebody who's specifically going to handle that specific thing. PR is important. A lot of people, artists, understand PR is important. It might cost you $500 or $600, but it is worth it. You know, all these big companies, they have it. They have a PR person. They have that's handling all your media stuff, and they have connections, and they're the ones who do that for you. Then you have a coordinator. You need a coordinator. You need an event coordinator that's going to put the production together, and they have a production team. That's going to cost you another $1,000. You know, they're going to make sure they call and all this, and they're going to have the hookups on, you know, the tables, the chairs, all this. They're going to bring you stills and color samples and all that. And you need a lighting guy, all that to make your event good. Not great, but good. We're talking about $5,000 is a good event. If you don't have that kind of money, don't do it. You know, because, you know, half the time your crowd is going to judge you first, not your friends.
Right.
So do you have?
Do you manage talent?
No, I don't. No managing talent. The only talent that I manage is the ones that we send emails out to, and we say, "Hey, we'd like to interview you on air live." That's all we do. We are no more than that. I don't have. You know, we're here to give the voiceless a voice like yourself. You know, people might know who you are, but the thing is, being internet radio, we have a further reach than you can ever imagine. You know, but before we get out of here, I want to know how can people find you?
They can find me by going to KimiRochele.com, which is KimiRochele.com, or they can go to krpmedia.com. And on Twitter, it's the same, at Kimi Rochele, with an H, RHOCHELLE, or at KRPR Media. And on Facebook, they could just put in Kimi Rochele and all my pages, because I have several pages on there. They could just come up that way. Mm-hmm.
Are you on Twitter at all?
Twitter, yeah, at Kimi Rochele or at KRPR Media.
I know it's so many social medias out there, right? You got Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. You know, before the whole craze came in, I was like, I'm on like hundreds and hundreds of sites before now it came in, and I used to do stuff so that would be, you know, right now if you set up like Facebook, then you can set it up so it automatically posts on Twitter. They didn't have that when it first started. When I first started, I had to go into all these sites and make this stuff happen. And so now it's really interesting how it is. And so now I really use those three forums: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I do some dig when I'm doing different, you know, I write press releases and e-news stories. So I send those out to various media and other, you know, different social network sites also from that. But my communication, mostly, I really like Twitter, because Twitter will pull the talent's fans, and you can have a greater interaction to me than Facebook. Facebook is cool, but I really, really like Twitter. Right. And Instagram, but I use Instagram mostly just for my personal. If I'm out, I take a picture. If I'm at an event and I put it up, you know, but a lot of celebrities and talents use Instagram. Right. So you need that. And, of course, some of your radio and artist sites, you know, so SoundCloud and what have you. There's so many of them now.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on air and blessing us with your presence.
I want to thank you for even asking me. I wish there was some way that I could get this and capture it and put it on my site.
Oh, I definitely will. I'll definitely send that to you. You'll get that tonight. Don't even worry about that.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
It'll be via YouTube link. So, you know, I know we kind of, you know, we keep it social media too. You know.
Okay.
So I got a question one more time. You know what? I forgot to ask you this question. Do you have any upcoming events?
Do I have any upcoming events? This weekend in San Diego is E40 and DJ Quick. And who else, Sweetie? That's it. Who else? DJ Quick. Naughty by Nature? No. Who's the other one? Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's Saturday.
Okay.
And then the Bayou Jazz Festival.
Now, wait. What is the Bayou Jazz Festival? What is that all about?
the Bayou Jazz Festival is like California's version of Mardi Gras.
Okay.
So it's 2 days where they have crawfish and
you know my people are from Louisiana now. Don't play.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, Shreveport, Louisiana. Shout outs.
They have parade. They don't have the parades. They have a kids section. They have music for both days. They have the dancing, umbrellas contest.
Will you be there?
Dress.
Are you going to this event?
I'm going to go to it.
Okay. All right.
I haven't been, and I'm going to go probably on the Sunday.
Okay, I'll have to get some
I'll
information from you. Yeah, send me the information. Now, do you have any events going on in the Inland Empire?
Inland Empire, we have Faith Hills, we have Boys to Men, we have Natalie Cole, we have Mint Condition, that's at Riverside Live. Jill Scott. Faith Evans is in Los Angeles. I'm sorry. Faith Evans is in Los Angeles, but Jill Scott and Boys to Men and Natalie Cole is at Riverside Live, and the Mint Condition is coming around. We just did the Newport Beach Jazz Festival, and we just did the week before that, the San Diego Jazz Festival, and a couple of weeks before that, the Las Vegas City of Lights Festival. So we do a lot of festivals now.
Wow. So I'll tell you like this, KRP Media is just busy, man. You'll definitely have to send me information so I can give the crowd information when we go live on air. And, we can put it out there, because people want to know what's going on. And
and you know what I'll do is once we get off the air and I finish doing a couple of things, I'll hit you up and I'll get you some tickets if you want to give them away to yourself or if you want to give them away for contests of the show.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I'm not a big concert fan, but we can definitely give out some tickets to events courtesy of.
Funny you say that. So you don't go to concerts?
You know what? It's like
I love. You don't go to concerts.
But like this, I love dealing with artists. I love dealing with current talent and upcoming talent, and being more intimate. Being more. I want to talk to them and make me. And I want a chance to learn how to be a new fan all over again. I want to learn how to love your music, and in order for me to love your music, I have to be in love with your character. You know what I'm saying? But it's not to say I wouldn't go. It's just I don't go as often. Let's put it like that. I don't go as often. But if we got some tickets and you invited us out, Swag City Radio will definitely come on out and show support and definitely take some pictures. And if you ever have giveaways or things you want to give away, let me know at any point in time, and we'll give away tickets live on air and courtesy of KRP Media.
Okay, how do we want to do it?
Okay,
I'm just curious because I don't really go to the concerts either, and I'm starting to.
Look, you sound like me now.
Unless I'm working it, I don't. You go, but I did go this weekend. We went to go see Tony, and Guy.
Now I would go see. I would go see that. I would go see Tony. I would definitely.
Oh, you would have?
I would have seen. I would have seen that. I'm old school R&B.
A lot of the old school artists, they've broken up. So a lot of the groups aren't the original groups, like Guy.
Right.
You only had two of them. You didn't have.
Who they have? They had Aaron Hall and who else? Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley wasn't there.
So then they had Aaron Hall and who was the other?
I don't know who the other one was.
Well, he would have been an imposter. He would have been an imposter because
original.
Yeah, he would have been an imposter. I said on Guy, it would have just been Aaron Hall.
Right.
Because Levert died.
Right, so it was just him.
But Aaron Hall is good too. I mean, he starts singing "I Miss You."
Oh yeah, he's cool. But I would love to see them together because I've done shows. I promoted shows with Guy when he was there, and he had other. Teddy Riley, but it was just Teddy Riley, and but it was just nice to see the older groups because you had H-Town and
I go see H-Town. H-Town, Jezebel. I just don't know, but hey, like I said, if there's any upcoming events, let me know, and I'll definitely come on out and check it out. or if I don't go, it's like if you send me the if you send me the tickets,
then you let me know.
Yeah, if you send me the tickets or however, I'll give them away. And if I don't want to go, then I'll give them away live on air. And then if you ever want to do like a contest or anything like that for something, let me know and we'll get it out there and have people call in, and you could give me something to talk about to where they have to know this or say that or something like that. We'll work it out.
Okay, no problem.
At least you'll have a local source, internet radio. And if somebody in LA wants to drive on out to the Inland Empire or Long Beach or wherever else, Las Vegas, like you mentioned, they can go on out. Because like I said, we reach not just locally, we reach worldwide, but other states too.
Okay, good.
Well, you have any shout outs? Anybody besides your husband probably sitting right there listening in himself?
Yeah, I want to shout out Essex Porter. He's my partner with KRPR Media and Urban Lifestyle Magazine, my kids, all my clients, and I really want to shout out Swag City, your radio show. I really, is that the right name, Swag City?
Swag City Radio.
Swag City Radio. I really want to shout you out because I know what help you do. Sometimes we don't see it, but I know what you do that helps the indie person, and I want to shout you out. So that's really it. All my clients, if I miss one, then somebody would be upset. So I'm just God. I'm going to shout out God, and just really I'm just honored that you even thought to give me a call and say, or reach out to me and say, come on and be on your show. And
once again, no problem.
Once I get this, I'm gonna send this out and help promote your show for you.
No problem. I appreciate that. But like I said, we're here for people like yourself, and to give the voices a voice. And I'm just doing my best to try to give people a platform to whether. And a lot of things this isn't just about music. We changed our format up to where, to me, like swag stands for the station where artists go global. Now, artists, specifically an artist, is not specifically any type of person. An artist is a chef, or it's a painter, or it's a someone who owns KRP Media. It's an author. It's people of different things. We just want to acknowledge people who are up and coming, or who have been around, and people who have not had an opportunity to put themselves out there and let other people know, like, hey, this is what I do, and if that's the case, it's an opportunity for people to acknowledge that. But once again, I thank you very much for coming on to the show, and and I wish you much success, and
no problem. Thank you so much, and I'll be in contact with you.
Well, thank you very much. Right here live,
bye-bye.
D. Williams, Swag City Radio, KRP Media. It's going down. Let's get into this music. Let's go.
You don't know what you do to me. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what you do to me. Look into my eyes. You see what I see. We up in the mirror, getting freaky. You got me in my zone. Your eyes on me. When I'm up from behind, giving you everything. You got me high. Now I don't wanna stop. You're kissing on my spine.